Hello and how are yous? As you may or may not know that I'm from Finland and I live in Ireland, and I have been living here for almost 12 years, more or less. I came to Ireland for the first time in 2007 because of my studies, and straight away I felt a connection to this country and its people. It's been a wonderful journey to create my life here and also to learn about the culture, and since it's almost St. Patrick's Day, I thought it would be nice to celebrate this by I thought it would be nice to celebrate this by going through some of my favorite Irish slang words and some phrases I use as my own, though it makes me a bit of a fraud. Anyway, let's get into it. One of the very first phrases I ever heard was, "Hey, what's the crack?" Until it was explained to me what it means, my response was, "I don't do drugs." It means, "How are you?" or "What's happening?" I think for a day or two I genuinely thought that people wanted to sell me drugs. Any crack? What I've also noticed that Irish people like to give you pet names like love or hun, like "You okay, hun?" or "Sorry, love." But I remember the first time I was being called a chicken. It was by this random lady. Maybe. Thanks, chicken. And I wasn't sure if I was being insulted or not. I still don't know. This is something that I use at the start of literally every sentence. Come here! Even though I'm right next to that person. It's more like to grab their attention, you know? Come here to me. I don't know why I changed my voice like that. Sherlock. When Irish people talk about someone, they often refer to them as your man or your one. You know, your man for male and your one for female. If you say, "You know your man who works at the bar," to anyone non-Irish, you may get a response, "He's not my man." True story. One of my favorites is also "good man yourself" or "good woman yourself," which is used in the form of approval or validation when someone has done something impressive. Irish people will also say things like, "Oh, the state of you last night. You look wrecked today. I'm absolutely scared for you. Scared for your ma for having you." Does that like sound Irish, or am I just being insulting? Then they will try to make it up by, "I'm only taking the piss." So you wouldn't actually get offended by them slagging or insulting you. It's also very popular to say grand to anything that you're not willing to contribute to. Like, "What do you think of my t-shirt?" It's grand, like, or "My boyfriend broke up with me." You'll be grand. Or "How are ya?" Grand, yeah. I also really like the word chancer. It's a really good one. These days it's heavily used to describe Irish landlords. As you may or may not know of the Dublin rental crisis, where landlords have overwhelming power over the rental prices. But sure, it'll be grand. There's also a couple of words that I thought were, you know, universal English, but turns out they're not. Like the word hoover, you know, like hoovering your house. But turns out that everywhere else it's actually vacuuming. Or is it vacuum cleaning? I don't even know. Same with the word off license. It's a liquor store in Ireland, where you can get a naggin of any booze of your choice. In Finland it's actually called alco. I also now pronounce the word film like film. And I also call the country people cold cheese, which I think it's pretty offensive and I shouldn't do that. But Sherlock, I'm only taking the piss. Sorry, love. Jesus, this place is jammers. I don't know why I do that, but anyway. Jesus, this place is absolute jammers. When place is packed, you know, full of people. This is usually the point where I'm going home because the crack is not there for me, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so that's some of the most memorable... so that's some of the most memorable phrases that I have come across while living in Ireland, and I hope you enjoyed them. And yeah, hopefully see you in the next video. Bye 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 bye.